Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Oblong Polka Dots and my name is Kerr. And on this channel, we talk about makeup, skincare, and beauty. So if that's something you're into, you've come to the right place. Today, we are going to use the Milani All-Inclusive Eye, Cheek, and Face Palette. This one is in volume 120, medium to deep. That is the outside. And then when you purchase it, it comes with a plastic cover and it does have a nice big mirror. Take off the cover, and that's what the palette looks like. See if I can angle it a little bit, because it does get washed out by the light of the ring. Here we go. Okay, so we are going to go with the 3 shadows that are in the middle, which makes it really easy. And I always go from lightest to darkest, but in this case, this will be my base, outer corner, and that will be my mobile lid. So I have something nice and shiny on top. So as always, I like to begin with a primer. This one is almost empty. It's the Fenty Pro Filter Instant Retouch Primer. And I love this little primer. I ordered another one during the Sephora sale. And yeah, when I first bought this, I didn't much care for it, but I love it now. Can't get enough. And my face is already clean and prepped, and all my actives and everything have been used. Okay. All right. So, face is primed. Is my camera crooked, you guys? I feel like it's crooked. Is that better? I hope that's better. Okay, and then we're going to also prime the lids. There's a couple things I'm actually going to use this morning. First is my obsession, the Essence Prime Like a Boss eyeshadow primer. This stuff is fantastic. I love it. Cannot get enough of it. I ordered 3 more. It's like less than $4 and totally punches above its weight. Don't trip though when you go to use it, because it is oily when you first apply it, but it will dry down to something nice and tacky, and it holds your shadow all day and it keeps it from creasing. So there you go. Love this stuff. So we're going to let that sink in a little bit. And then, let's see, let it get a little bit tacky. All right, so for my lid, let's find a flat brush. I have all my stuff laid out here right now, you guys. This is a flat brush from Wet n Wild, and we are going to begin with, put that back. Let's begin with that shadow there at the top. I don't think these have names. Oh, they do. Okay, so this one is called Shadow Matte, Shadow Shimmer, Shadow Matte. Pretty basic. We're going to begin with the one on top, and we're just going to lay that on the lid. I can tell you already, there's some kick up in the pan. See a little bit of fallout, but it is a nice brown, like a cocoa brown. Let's really get that all over, packing that on. I'm not blending it out or anything, I'm just packing the color on. Okay. Same thing with the other lid. This is a very dry feeling formula. It's not dusty, but it's definitely dry. Like it would be, I guess, similar to like a drier version of the ColourPop press pigments, but it's definitely not creamy like the Lorac shadows. Just for comparison, and then just really packing that color on there, bringing it all the way up into the crease, because we're going to be blending this out. Okay, I think that's good. Okay, is that good? Have my mirror a little further away than I normally do. Is that glue? It could be. Okay, that's good. Let's not obsess. All right, so for that outer color, excuse me, we're going to use the same brush. We're just going to use the same brush, same flat brush. So we're going into that outer corner color. I'm going to do this just to deepen up that outer corner, get that nice shadow going. We're just packing it on. We're not blending anything out. And I like to put this on at an angle. So we're just packing it in. Sorry guys, I think I have allergies. I feel like I've been sniffling all morning. Here we go. Let's pack a little more on this side so it can be a little bit even. I do like the way this shadow feels. Although there is some fallout in the pan, I don't know if you can see it. It's not too much. So yeah, this is nice. All right, so that's on. Now we're going to take our fluffy brush and we are going to just blend this out a little bit. So we're just going to be pulling it straight out so we can really emphasize that angle, because I like that kind of drama, so that in the end the eye looks more like a leaf shape or kind of like a trapezoid. So we're going to pull that out, and then same thing with this side. There we go. So the shadows themselves, they're not too pigmented, but I feel like they're pigmented enough. Let's blend that a little bit. Okay. All right. So that's what that looks like. And then we're going to grab that same brush from before, but this time we're using the same side that we've been using, but we're going to add some glitter primer to it. This one is from NYX and it's my favorite. You really don't need a lot. A little bit goes a long ways. We're going to put a little dot on there. Not much, right? And we're going to just lay this primer down where we want the eye to really have a lot of that center glitter color so that it can really pop. And I'm just patting this onto the lid. Same thing with this side. And a little bit of this goes a long way, so you really don't need much, which means one tube should last you for a hot minute. Even if you're using it every day, it'll last for a while. So now, let's see, making a mess over here. We're going to take the same brush where we just use both colors and our primer, but this time we're going to flip it over and use the other side for the shimmer that's in the middle. And let's see how this works. Nice. Very nice. Look at that drama. I love it. These are the kind of eyes I absolutely adore. I feel like they have the most impact and they just look so pretty. They're very eye-catching. Pardon the pun. And we're just patting that shimmer color in there. There we go. Nice. You know, when I first bought this palette, I wasn't sure if I would like it because I figured, you know, having everything in one doesn't always translate into everything in one that works for everybody. But so far, this seems to be working for me. So those three shadows in the middle, yes. High quality, especially for the price. Here we go. So that's on. And just going to take one more look here. Just going to blend a little bit more along these edges. Just a little bit. Blend it up some. Just to soften it. I dipped the brush back into that first color, that base color, just to soften this edge a little bit. Okay. It's good. So I do have a little bit of fallout. Let's clean that up. I'm going to grab one of these little sponges, or not sponges, but one of these little square things. And then I have the Clinique Take the Day Off here. Oops. Let's not drop everything, okay? All right. Let's take a little bit of that, and we're just going to clean up a little. go. This is good, you guys. There really isn't a lot of fallout here. So just a tiny bit. But it's nothing that's like, I used a shadow the other day from ColourPop and it was flying all over the place. I think it was one of their older formulas because it's definitely an older palette. And I was like, holy moly, it's like fallout everywhere, but this is fine. This is good. There we go. All right, so now let's get going on the rest of the face, shall we? I'm going to go ahead and use my Lancome Tainty Dull Ultra Wear All Over Concealer. This is in the number 470. It's my favorite concealer. And I have this in 2 other colors so that I can use them throughout the year. One color is kind of a in between that I can transition between the other 2. And this one is like my winter spring color, and then the other one is like my summer. Okay. And then for my face, we are going to use the Makeup Forever HD Skin Foundation. I love this. It sits beautifully on the skin. My shade is 3N54. In parentheses, it's Y463. So if we're skin twins, then that's what I use. I really don't need a lot. Maybe like a pump and a quarter or a pump and a half. But I don't like to use too much because I do like it to be still pretty skin-like. And then to blend it out, I'm going to use a little sponge. So put a couple dots on my face. And then we're going to just use that. I'm just going to blend it out. I prefer to use a little sponge like this, and I definitely prefer when I use any kind of sponge, be it a beauty blender or any other type of sponge, to use it dry. So I like these little sponges though because they're nice and soft. And I think I just prefer that kind of texture. There we go. And this really covers beautifully. I think that it's nice to have a foundation that has a, medium to full coverage, but doesn't feel heavy on the skin and still makes your skin look like skin. And the same is true for the concealer. I just think that they both give a really lovely, natural finish. And I like the way that looks. Don't get me wrong, I like the glam look too. So when you have like a heavier foundation and you're really just like out there doing the red carpet, that's a nice look too. But for an everyday look, when you're going out to run errands or go to work or whatever, I prefer to have it look as natural as possible. Okay. I think that's pretty well blended. What do you think? Okay, so let's go ahead and throw on some powder. I have the Becca Hydra Mist Satin Refresh Powder. This is my favorite. They don't make it anymore, so I know I complain about this bitterly. And when they stop making it, that's it, you guys. It's always like something that I really love, and then they stop making it, and I'm like, okay, now I'm going to have to find something else. So we're just going to powder the face. What I love about this powder is that it's not drying. It's not like, it'll set your makeup, but it's not necessarily intended to make you look snatched. It's just meant to set the makeup. Whereas some other powders are just so drying. So that's all I got left, you guys. Pretty soon you'll be seeing me make videos with different powder. Okay, so then for under my eyes, I apparently drank the Kool-Aid or something because I'm hooked on setting it under my eyes with a powder now. So I'm going to grab one of these little sponges that I picked up from Amazon, and I'm going to use the Sephora Micro Smooth Powder. This one is in the shade Honey, and I'm going to use this to set my under eye. So you just put some on there and you just press it in like all the other girlies do. All the popular girls, that's what they do. I think I'm feeling humorous this morning. by the time you guys see this, I think it'll be next week because I pre-filmed, but today is Friday. And the weather is finally warming up here in Seattle. And if you've never been to Seattle before and you do plan to visit, come in the summer because it's so beautiful here. So I'm going to give this palette a try in terms of its blush. It has a bronzer, but I'm not sure that's my tone. Maybe. I don't know. I'm not feeling very experimental before work, so I think we're just going to try out that blush. Let's give it a try. Oh, okay. Well, I thought it would be more pigmented than it is. So that's good because it's definitely buildable. And you can see it there. And I do like to bring my blush right up underneath my eye. So I don't know if you can see that, but it's definitely buildable. It looks similar to about 200 or 300 other blushes that I have. Ha ha ha. Being funny here, but yeah, kind of. It's a little bit, it's good. It's not great. It's nothing to write home about, that's for sure. But it'll do for now. Okay. So it's very blushy. Very blushy. I don't know. I think I'm coming up with words here. There's kind of a brighter blush on top here. And I think it's supposed to be a blush slash highlight. So maybe I can pop that here just along the top. I don't know. What do you think? Too much? Too little? Maybe too much? Maybe. We'll tone it down. Let's grab a brush. We'll tone it down a little bit. Actually, we'll just take our little sponge here and we'll just go like this. And get it melted back in a little bit. Every once in a while, I go a little overboard. Today would be one of those days. Let's see if we can tone it down with the powder. There we go. Let's tone it down just a scotch. Okay, so now that we've blushed it up quite a bit, let's set our face. We have the Kryolan setting powder. Love this stuff. If you are super sensitive to alcohol, oops, just dropping stuff. If you're super sensitive to alcohol, that is not the setting spray for you. It is very strong. But that being said, I have bottle after bottle of this stuff. I love it. It really does set your makeup in place. Like, it's going to stay on all day. I'm going to line my eyes today with the Urban Decay Demolition. This is a nice shade of brown. It's one of my favorite liners from Urban Decay. Let me pull this mirror a little bit closer. I don't tend to line my bottom lash line, but I do line my upper lash line because I think that it makes it look like your lashes are thicker. And I like that really voluminous look. There we go. Something like that. And then let's see, we're going to go ahead and throw in some mascara. So I'm obsessed with the Essence mascaras. This is the Eye Extreme Crazy Volume Mascara. I love this formula. I'm not in love with the spoolie. The spoolie, these stiff ones, I find them really hard to use. So I always have to be super duper careful. But this formula is amazing. When I say it adds volume to my lashes, good grief, you can see it. You can see it in real time. And whenever I'm putting on mascara, I don't do that thing where I like pump it in the tube. Whatever product is on the spoolie is more than sufficient to coat all of my lashes, top and bottom. And then let's see, let's do the top. Or I mean, let's do the bottom. See what I mean though? When you go to do the bottom lashes, you have to be really, really careful because it's easy to accidentally get like the skin that's underneath the lash. There we go. I don't mean to sound like a baby about it, but it bees like that sometimes. So I think though today what I want to do is one more step. I don't typically do, but today I want to. I'm going to add a little bit of color underneath my lashes. So I'm going to take these two and combine them just underneath. And I'm using a flat brush for this. And I'm just going to run that just like this. The reason I like to do this is because I feel like it adds dimension to the look. And it does take the place of me lining my lower lash line. And it helps to balance out the colors at the top versus the bottom. See what I mean? I like the way that looks. I think it looks more refined. It looks more finished. And lastly, I have my brows tattooed. So typically I don't fill them in. But if I do, it's going to be with this pencil that I have in my hand right now from MAC in the color Spiked. Otherwise, I just use the spoolie. Okay, guys, that is the look. We are done here. Let's just slap on a quick lip gloss and we'll be finished. Took a little more time than I intended, but it's okay. So this one's from Juvia's Place and it's called Mirage. And we're just going to throw on this nice neutral lip gloss. And there we go. That is the look. Ta-da! Let me know what you think. Thank you so much for coming to my channel. I really appreciate your time. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share, and I will talk to you soon. Take care.